responsibility to bring them up does not end when they become a teenager. My responsibility does not end when they become 18. My responsibility does not end when they become married. I've got to remain the fatherly example even when they transition from my house to somebody else's house, because I've been called to bring them up. You know what that means? That means that sometimes I got to bring them up without being an onlooker. What that says is I can't sit on the sidelines and let my wife do all of the teaching. Sometimes we think it's the daddy's job to pay, but it's the mama's job to stay. I've got to be responsible enough to be an active part of the life of my child. Not only should I not do it as an onlooker, but I have to make sure that my responsibility and my interaction is ongoing, which means it's a progressive thing. And when I graduate them from one level, I should teach them to go to the next. Third thing, and this is the final thing, it's the crescendo. Ain't no clothes, ain't no glory, because y'all ain't happy enough for that. Paul tells them, don't father out of frustration. He says you got to father in their face. But look at the third thing he says in this fourth verse. He says, bring them up in the nurture and the admonition of the Lord. Nurturing means to foster them. And then admonition means to discipline them. Which means a real father fathers through fostering and by force. Because sometimes my voice ain't enough. And sometimes when you don't respect my face, you don't respect my hand. I know this taboo in this day and time, because you got folks saying they'll call the police. When I was coming up, I was scared to call the police. I thought my mama would answer the phone. I'm going to beat you again when I get home. Listen, here is the thing. You got to understand, nurturing means to train them. It means to cultivate them. Admonishing them means to rebuke them at times. It means to warn them. It means to let them understand that they need to have the right place of mind. Sometimes it means, please don't miss this, fostering by being open. Your life ought to be an open book. Stop acting like you ain't never had sex. Stop acting like you ain't never got high. Stop acting like you ain't never got drunk. Matter of fact, they catch you at the right time, you might want to get drunk together, huh? You don't know? Yeah, well, give me some. Listen. Problem is, we have this attitude of I ain't never done nothing. That's right. And so we don't let the punishment fit the crime. Why would you keep a child from going to the fair that comes once a year? Because they made one mistake right before the fair came. No, the reality is you want to save some money. And so now you want to scar them and let the other children tease them because they had a chance to have an experience they didn't have a chance to have, simply because you were too trifling to do what was necessary to help them. I said something there. Not only does fathering through fostering and by force means being open, but fathering through fostering and by force means administering punishment for offenses. What that means is, Solomon says it like this. He says, train up a child in the way he should go when he's only going to depart from it. Part of that training is disciplining them. Proverbs 22:15 says, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction drives it far from him. He that spareth the rod, Proverbs 13:24, spoils the child. Yeah, that's what your mama used to say. He that spares the rod hates his child. See, that's the reason why he never said that part. Because when you don't discipline, it's a sign that you don't love them.
That's right. That's right.
I close with this. Hebrews 12:11 says, the Father chastens those he loves. He said he chastened them. He said the chastening for the moment is not joyous, but it's grievous. He said afterward it yields a more peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which is exercised thereby. Which means they don't feel good now, but it will be good for you later on. Statistically speaking, 50-year-old study was done on Christian and non-Christian families. And they found out that most adults who are in church today and who love God were forced to go to church when they were children. I don't know what it was about Sunday school, but we didn't have no choice. You'll go to church all day, but you at least going to Sunday school.
That's right.
Even if we don't go, you leave in here. Because there's something that has to be placed on the inside of you. Play softly, and I'm closing with this. The story was told